castrate him, right? Make it impossible for him to commit sin. Castrate him or put him in a prison, do something like that. That's not permissible. So nobody is subject to punishment for a crime until he commits the crime. Until he commits the crime. The Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam could warn, he could give a sermon that zina, committing zina, uh, ensues these consequences. But the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam cannot punish him. If the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, for instance, in the life of Abu Bakr and Omar, he had brought upon a punishment upon Abu Bakr and Omar that would have made it impossible for Abu Bakr and Omar to do what they have done after the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, today, how we would have looked at the history, right? If Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam had brought upon a punishment on Abu Bakr and Omar in a way that it would have prevented Abu Bakr and Omar from carrying out their crimes that they carried out, now we will look back. The world will look back. Non-Muslims would look at the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They would look at Abu Bakr and Omar, would see innocent people, because Abu Bakr and Omar, in this version of history, have not done anything. Because Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam did something to them, and they were never able to carry out their crimes. So in this version of history, Abu Bakr and Umar are innocent, but they were punished. So people will see the harsh behavior of the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam with respect to Abu Bakr and Umar, people who were innocent of anything. So who would be criticized before history, before people, before any fair conscience? The Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. People who would accept that, Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam knew that they were going to be very terrible people, therefore he killed them, killed innocent people. The world will see it as as a crime, not as a service. So that's not permissible in Islam anyways. So the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam did not kill Abu Bakr and Umar, but the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam did plenty to forewarn his ummah about Abu Bakr and Umar. In Shia books of literature and hadith, there are many, many warnings from the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam plenty of the time addressed Abu Bakr and Umar specifically and said that after my demise, you make sure you follow my brother-in-law and my son and my brother Amir al-Mu'minin alayhi salam. You make sure you do not have any greed for khilafah. And they may repetitively, Abu Bakr and Umar, they profess their loyalty and their allegiance to following Amir al-Mu'minin alayhi salam. And the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and many other hadith, he addressed Abu Bakr and Umar and he said, I know what you're going to do and you're lying. And you would be violating these pacts that you have made. So individually, he warned Abu Bakr and Umar. And also he warned his Sahaba and Shia hadith and warned Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salam that these are individuals, Quraysh in general, Arabs in general, and these specific Sahaba. They, after me, they will take over Imama and Khilafah, and they would murder my daughter, and they will bring upon Islam the tragedies, the innovations, the misguidance unimaginable. So Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam many a time said that, right? And in my next lecture, these warnings of the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam would be presented to you more clearly from Umari books, not just from Shia books, from Umari books. So that's another step the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam took. And even in Umari books, this matter, the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam warned his ummah about Abu Bakr and Umar's khilafah, that these individuals are very, very evil people, that they will be bringing mischief upon Islam, are tremendous. And inshallah, in my next lecture will be on this topic, because we're talking about Imamah, how the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam perceive and visualize the time ahead of him after his demise, the time after his demise. So inshallah, that will be discussed there. And then the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam also, during his time, he did recite to Muslims verses of the noble Quran, which were revealed in condemnation of Abu Bakr and Umar. And these verses of noble Quran are present in Bukhari and Muslim. Bukhari and Muslim concur that these verses of the noble Quran, for instance, in Surah Hujurat and many other, Surah Al Imran, many other verses that have been revealed in condemnation of Abu Bakr and Umar, specifically for their misdeeds. And these condemnations are not simple. They are condemnations of kufr, of nifaq, of eternity in fire of hell. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has not left any excuse for anybody. If the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says amongst the Muslims, he recites these verses from a sermon, from his pulpit in a sermon, and he recites these verses in these surahs in his salah, in his prayers, and he commands his ummah that you have to recite these verses in these surahs. And these verses, these surahs have been revealed in condemnation of Aisha, condemnation of Hafsa, condemnation of Abu Bakr, Omar, Uthman. Not one or two, many, 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 many. So do you think there would remain any stone unturned that the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam hasn't presented to Muslims enough proofs and hujjah and warning about Abu Bakr and Umar? So if you, I don't know, in English perhaps I've not delivered these lectures about the verse of Quran in condemnation of Abu Bakr and Umar that are with Sahih, Shan al-Nuzul, and Umari books of Hadith. But inshallah, if I continue these lectures, you will find plenty of material in this regard. And then another action the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam took about Abu Bakr and Umar was that he always treated them with great amount of disrespect and insignificance. He never appointed Abu Bakr and Umar an army to any as leaders to any army. He never appointed them as his emissaries. He never gave them an important job. Abu Bakr, they were insignificant during the time of the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Abu Bakr and Umar, they didn't play any crucial role in anything. There were many armies dispatched to different battles, to different tribes. There were emissaries sent to the courts of distant kings, which were important, obviously important missions. Never Abu Bakr and Umar. Yes, one time, when Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salatu wassalam, ill in his eyes, and he could not see properly in the battle of Khaybar, the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam gave command to Abu Bakr, and Abu Bakr embarrassed the Muslims by running away from Khaybar. And the next day he gave it to Omar by Sahih Hadith in many books. Omar also ran away from the battle and he embarrassed the Muslims. And Muslims testified to the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam that this person is very, very weak and very, very coward. So obviously the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam knew Abu Bakr and Umar and that they are incapable of leading Muslims. So why does he embarrass them this way? If, for instance, if I know this person cannot fight, right? That's very obvious. I know this person cannot fight. He's not a man of battle. He's not a man of sword, right? I put him into a cage. This person has not trained in MMA, for instance. I put him in a cage with an MMA fighter. What's going to happen to him? So of course, I've embarrassed this person. I've disgraced this person. I have caused this person's misery. So when the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam sends Abu Bakr, we all know history. Abu Bakr is not a man of sword. Abu Bakr is not a military leader. Abu Bakr has never fought in any battle. He has not thrown a stone against the mushriks. He sends them to fight the mighty, battle-hardened Jewish heroes of battles, Marhab in Khaybar. So why does